Breaking news into CNN just moments ago. Savannah Guthrie posted a new video on Instagram about her missing mother, Nancy. Here it is.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
Joining us now is CNN senior law enforcement analyst and former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Andrew, I mean, what do you make of the video just posted by Savannah Guthrie?
Yeah, very different video than the one that the family released on Friday, or I'm sorry, maybe that was Saturday. I can't remember the last one. In any case, the first thing that strikes me, Boris, is this message does not sound like a message that you would expect to hear from a family that is currently negotiating the return of their loved one. The previous message really also marked a bit of a change in tone, and it seemed to be the family communicating very clearly to whoever's been sending these letters to the media that they are prepared to pay. But of course, they needed to open up some sort of two-way communication to figure out how to do that and how to actually get their mother back after a payment was made. So my guess is that they have not had a response to that, and they are not engaged in a productive exchange with them. They also seem to be still very hopeful that their mother is alive and well. She talks about feeling very strongly that her mother is hearing these messages and it's having a positive effect on her. And finally, it's a very direct message to the public for help. Really, once again, sending this message out that they need every lead, every piece of information, every sighting, every suspicious kind of noting that the community has to offer to really kind of turbocharge, breathe some life, as it were, into this investigation and send them off in directions that will ultimately lead to bringing Nancy Guthrie home.
Andy, how does it have you thinking about these previous notes, the ransom layout? How does it have you thinking about whether those are legitimate?
Well, as you probably know, Brianna, I've had real questions about that from the very beginning. It's a unconventional way to go about this sort of negotiation for a kidnapper, to communicate with the media rather than the people involved, the family members who would potentially pay a ransom to get their family member back. There's no real benefit to that for the kidnappers, which is why it's an odd choice. This refusing to have any follow-up communication, and then of course sending one more letter. And not ever providing proof of life. For me, that's the one thing that has never made any sense in this. Every kidnapper knows you must provide proof of life if you expect to get paid. And the only reason people do these kidnappings is to get paid. So that has never really rung true with me. So if this existing demand and the deadline at 5 o'clock today this message might be a sign to us that the investigative team and the family are essentially losing hope in that channel as a way of getting their mother back, and are ready to just continue doing the hard work of really pushing this investigation forward.
CNN's John Miller is also with us. John, do you read it the same way that Andy does? And specifically, I wanted to get your thoughts on something we heard from Savannah Guthrie, asking for tips even if someone is far away from the Tucson area. If they see something strange, she's asking them to call the number that's on the screen right now.
Well, that's right, and that's a key point. But, you know, she starts off with, you know, this is not another message to the kidnappers. This is a message to the general public. This is an appeal, and it starts, you know, politely with thanks for your prayers and your love, not just for our family, but we believe that our mother can feel them wherever she is, and that they help to rise her up. But she also says, yes, law enforcement is working very hard around the clock, but then she turns back to the main point of this message, which is, she was taken and we don't know where she is, and we need your help. And not just prayers, we need your help, even if you're far from Tucson. And what that tells us is, we know from other cases, in this particular case, you know, there is reason to believe that she probably left that house with whoever abducted her after 2 o'clock in the morning. It was discovered that she was gone after 11 in the morning. So there's multiple hours where they could have been on the road traveling and could have gotten far away. So what she's saying to the public is, first of all, don't make any assumptions. Well, the deadline's coming, you know, she'll be killed and this will be over. Or the last message indicated that they had lost hope. No, they want people focused on this, and not just in Tucson, but in Las Vegas, in Oklahoma, in any place where they see something out of place, a woman who looks like her being taken out of a car or a minivan, a strange person that is, you know, with people being led into the basement of a house. The kind of things you might look at it and say, well, that looks odd, but, you know, we're not in Tucson, we're nowhere near there. They're saying, no, if you see something suspicious, somebody said something, you overheard something, please pass that on. And that is the main force of this message. She said, understanding that this deadline is approaching, whatever that deadline from the purported letter from the kidnappers might mean, we are in a moment of desperation. It is truly an appeal.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Jake Tapper is there in Pima County, where it is getting desperate on day 9, no doubt. And you hear that in Savannah's voice, Jake, imploring people far away from Tucson to keep an eye out for anything unusual. They're crowdsourcing this. They're looking for help far and wide from people who will pay attention to their surroundings and report whatever they can.
Yeah, Savannah specifically making 2 requests. One, again, a nod to her devout Christian faith, that she feels the prayers, her brother Cameron feels the prayers, her sister Annie feels the prayers, and they believe that Nancy, even in this dark hour, in this dark place, she is feeling the prayers as well. But beyond the prayers that she is so grateful for, she's asking for help, asking the public, if you see anything, and as John noted, even if you're not near Tucson, if you see anything that even remotely seems strange, please report it to law enforcement. We should note, of course, that the FBI tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI. And as has been noted, she said, we are in an hour of desperation, and we need your help. A nod to the fact that as of right now, they still have no idea where their beloved mother is. That she was taken Sunday morning, 2 Sundays ago, and they don't know how or where or by whom, but they believe she is still out there. They believe that there is information that somebody has out there, other than the kidnappers, that could help them find her. So it is a real plea to the public by Savannah, who, it's just remarkable how much composure she's able to have and using her communication skills to convey this incredibly urgent message to help save her mom to help bring her mom home, even during this unfathomably difficult time for her and her family.
Yeah, what they're enduring must be excruciating. Brian Stelter is with us. Brian, to Jake's point there, it's notable that there's another video now that Savannah Guthrie is getting another message out to the public in seeking assistance, in seeking anyone that has information to bring it to law enforcement.
The word I keep hearing from Savannah's colleagues at NBC, from her friends at NBC, is the word unbearable. That this is simply unbearable. It's been more than a week now, and you can get that sense from her voice. Even though she is incredibly composed, she is speaking to the country and the world, trying to seek assistance. This has been an unbearable experience. And if you think about it, Savannah's talking the same way she did this time last week. That's what I find heartbreaking about this latest video. This time last week, Monday, that's when she came out publicly for the first time, just one day after her mom's reported missing, and she asked the public for help, and she urged the public to call the local sheriff's department. And here we are again, another Monday, and she is essentially doing the same thing, pleading for help from the public. You know, as some of her colleagues on the Today Show have said, somebody out there knows something, and yet there's this gap between maybe that knowledge and where the investigation stands. And it is also notable that she's not relying entirely on this notion of a ransom note or this supposed deadline. We've seen a report from TMZ this afternoon saying that the amount in the publicly viewable Bitcoin account that was set up by in this alleged ransom note, that was referenced in this alleged ransom note, that the amount in that publicly available Bitcoin account still stands at $0. Now, that does not necessarily mean that there has not been a payment. It's worth keeping in mind that Bitcoin addresses can be changed between transactions. Transactions can be disguised with pseudonyms. Deposits could be withdrawn very quickly and thus no longer visible. But TMZ is out there saying, as of at the moment, when they looked at the Bitcoin account, nothing was in there. And it seems to me from Savannah's message, she's not dependent on that one idea of that one ransom note, of that one demand. She seems to believe she needs to cast a wider net and ask for more help from the public.
And Andy, we have about 30 seconds here, but I just want to say to you, ask you, what should people be on the lookout? What is the kind of thing, if they see something, they need to report it?
Yeah, we've all seen these pictures many, many times. We know what Nancy Guthrie looks like. We know how old she is. We know what kind of infirmities she has. We know she has mobility problems. That is what you're looking for. A person or a group of people with somebody who fits her description, moving her in or out of a vehicle or in or out of a restaurant or in or out of an apartment or an Airbnb. That's the kind of lead that our investigators need.
And hopefully it comes in soon. Andrew McCabe, thank you so much for that analysis.